Pride is why you won't succeed. Okay. So at the beginning of the 2024 year, my New Year's resolution was to fully surrender before God. Now, obviously, at the time, I didn't know exactly what that meant, but that year taught me a lot of lessons. God placed me in so many positions where I was forced to grow and become a new person. Starting off at the beginning of the year, God showed me the value of my words after I decided to drop my pride. I was trying to hear God more clearly, so what I decided to do was detox my playlist. If there was a song in my playlist that was talking about murder every 3 seconds, I removed it. If there was a song in my playlist that was talking about sex too heavily, I removed it. If there was a song that was in my playlist talking about drugs, being so high to the point that you can high five a bird, I removed it. Now, obviously, I knew this wasn't something I necessarily wanted to do, but this was something I needed to do because I knew it would draw me closer to God. And the thing that a lot of people think about, like when you remove these songs from your playlist, a lot of people think like you're just never gonna listen to music again. This is simply not true. If you still want to listen to music, which you probably are going to, you're going to just replace those songs, right? So now I start replacing my songs, right? But I start replacing my songs with things that are not degrading to my soul. So I start replacing my songs with praise music, with Afro beats, or just, Afro music in general. And I start replacing my stuff with R&B. And in doing so, I'm now always in a positive mood. I don't feel like I'm like speaking death over myself at all times. In Matthew 12:36, Jesus says, "But I tell you that everyone will have to give account on the day of judgment for every empty word they have spoken. For by your words you will be acquitted, and by your words you will be condemned." So your words are more powerful than you can imagine. Proverbs 18:21 tells us, "The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit." So by me putting my pride aside, I could now speak life into my life. And by doing so, God elevated my platform. Towards the beginning of the year, I got a job, but it wasn't a job that just anyone could last in, right? It was a sales job, okay? Smooth. So I get a sales job, and it's not no regular sales job though, because we're not actually selling anything, right? What we do, we're actually, go to some place, set up a little table, and what we do, we start advocating for kids that have been victims of some pretty bad stuff. We advocate for the kids that's been victims of things like trafficking, natural disasters, lack of, education, or just poverty in general. Now, this job right here required me to speak up and quite literally talk to quite literally everyone in front of me, okay? Now, if you know me, if you watch any of my videos, you know that in the past, I wasn't much of a talker, so this definitely required me to step out of that shell and become a new person. And in doing so, I actually became like one of the top, salespeople or whatever. And now I start like seeing the fruits of my labor, right? So what happens is, for only a select few people, they start like treating you real nice. So they start taking me to places like Fort Lauderdale, like they're flying me out to these places, right? And at these places, it's like a little networking event. So you're introducing yourself to people that have already done what you want to do, okay? And they're in positions that you probably want to get to. Because it's such a very high value networking event, we're actually in these real nice apartments, or not apartments, we're in these real nice hotels. And in my specific room, I have a little balcony view. So I go outside, I turn to my left, boom, I can see the ocean, I can see the beach, I can see the little trees, because we're in Florida, but the beach is like right next to us, right? And not only that, but I can see like construction right next to our building being done, right? So by me dropping my pride, God has now elevated my vision. Okay, and then after that, after I left the position, because, school opened back up or whatever, I came to a place of complacency, right? So I stopped being as active because I'm not going out every day to go to work or whatever it is. So I said, you know what? I have way more time on my schedule. Let me try to fill this up with something productive, something, valuable to myself, right? So I think I seen it on Instagram or somebody sent it to me, right? 2819, the church was doing an event, right? So we decided we're gonna pop out to the event. So I pick up all the guys. I pick up somebody. It's only one girl, but I pick up all the guys and the girl, right? And we're going to 2819. Okay. So as we're going, this one is more of a big event. I'm not gonna lie. People were saying that they flew 13 hours, they drove 24 hours to get there. respectfully, some of them didn't even get in. I'm not gonna lie. But that's beside the point. So we're walking to the event, and even as we're walking, people are literally saying, like, they're walking this way, and they're saying, yo, like, just turn around, bro. They're not letting nobody in. They're not letting nobody in. I say, okay, but like, I hear them, but my mind is telling me I'm still gonna go because we're already here. You see what I'm saying? So me, the guys, the girl, we keep continuing to go, right? So at this point, we've already, like, left our churches to come to this church. So it's like, low-key, we felt like we had to go talk to him. You get me? So we go and we get to the front of the building, and now we see the line, right? It was a long walk to get there. We thought there was nobody there, but now we actually see the line. So we're like, yo, we're actually here. You get me? So what happens is, it's not really a line. It's more of a crowd of people. And then as soon as we get there, they say, form 2 lines. We might be able to let somebody in or some people in, right? So boom. So now my friend that I brought, he sees this girl that he already knows type thing. So, we use the little dap up method. We get in front of them. You get me? Now we in the line for real, right? So this is not a story about us getting into 2019. I'm going to just let you know right now. But what happens is, as we're in the line, the girl that we just dapped up, she came with a guy, right? So now we got to dap him up too. Smooth. Now we introduce ourselves to this guy. And the girl that I came with, she says, yo, the fit he has on is a very clean fit, whatever, right? So the girl, she says, yo, the only thing that would enhance this man's fit is one of your jackets. She said, you should put him on to the brand. I said, okay, cool. I dap him up. I say, yo, bro, what's your name? All this. We, exchange information. I tell him about the brand. I don't have a piece on me, but like, I just tell him about the brand. I tell him, where to find us on Instagram, whatever, boom, right? So, like I said, it's not about us getting in. We didn't get in, unfortunately. You get what I'm saying? But we did meet some cool people. We did praises outside. It was cool, right? So now I'm on Instagram. I see he posts something. Boom, I click on it. It says something about Bible studies being held here. DM me if y'all want to know, like, more information or whatever. I just said, what I'm saying? My schedule is cleared up. I have time to do these things. Let's see what he's talking about. Boom. So I text him. I say, yo, what's going on? Like, you get me? What's this Bible study about? Where is it being held? He says, here. Push up. I say, all right, smooth. I'm finna slide. So boom, I slide to the Bible study. But as I'm in my car, I'm like, if this is people that like are around my age, I don't necessarily know how much value will be there, but I'm still gonna slide just regardless. Like, I'm still gonna be there just because I want to be there. You know what I'm saying? So I have to drop my pride just to be there. All right, so boom, I go to the event. And it's not just people that's our age. Like, there is most people that's our age, but there's also an older guy, right? And he's like the main speaker for this specific Bible study, right? So the main speaker, the older guy, he says, because it's only like me, the older guy, and the guy that invited me at this point. There's more people that come in afterwards, but we decided to get started anyway. So he starts talking to us about the authority of man, like, that God has given to us, how we lost it, and all this stuff, right? So he tells us that pretty much when the devil deceived Adam and Eve, he stole man's authority. And by him stealing man's authority, he was now labeled the king of, you know how he's labeled, like the king of this earth type thing, right? Like the ruler of this earth, whatever it is, right? So all this stuff is like very mind blowing to me. I'm like, yo, so that's why he's labeled that. Yo, so that's why this and this happened. Okay, smooth. So what happens is, he tells me that when Jesus was doing his 40-day fast and the devil came to tempt him, the devil he wasn't tempting him saying, hey, bow down before me and I'll give you this stuff that's already belonging to you. He was saying, since I've stolen authority from man and you've designed man to have authority over all these nations, what I'll do is I will give you back that authority if you bow down before me and you label me as God type thing, right? So that's what the devil was telling Jesus. Okay, smooth. So Jesus says he's not going to do that, obviously, right? But pretty much in him telling me that now, this whole idea of the devil tempting Jesus is now making sense to me. Because at first it was like, why would the devil tempt Jesus with something he already has? Now I understand he was tempting Jesus to regain authority over what we've lost. You get me? So in other words, Jesus would not have had to go to the cross if he just bowed down before the devil. You see what I'm saying? Right? So boom. So our whole foundation of being Christians and, you know, the crucifixion, it could have went a whole nother way if Jesus had fallen victim to that temptation, if that makes sense, right? So, yeah, by me dropping my pride, now God has enlightened me. And by me knowing all this stuff now I understand that once Jesus died for our sins, we've regained our authority over this whole earth, honestly. Matthew 16, verse 24. Then Jesus said to his disciples, whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. I say all this to say, in order to follow life, in order to follow God, in order to be his disciple, it literally says we must deny ourselves. So we must come to him humbly, you see what I'm saying? And in doing so, we're able to follow what actually brings us fulfillment in life. We're able to follow love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, you know what I'm saying? All the fruits of the Spirit, because we chose to drop our pride, right? So that's what I mean when I say your pride is stopping you from succeeding. Now I pray for peace and love amongst y'all boys, amongst y'all girls, amongst y'all families. Goodness and mercy shall follow you guys all the days of your life. You guys have an amazing day. Stay blessed. Amen.